When you first came here and you were telling the story about you came in and got the Christmas tree and socks and all that stuff, you were just stepping into your sobriety, right?
Yeah, like within the first month.
Wow. Wow. And did you relapse after that or anything?
No. That was I've been sober since. I have been going on close to 5 years sober.
Wow.
So I've been here a little over 4 years and close to 5 years sober, if I'm right. Dates are not best in my head, but yeah.
We do know you're not good with directions.
I'm not. I'm not.
She does all the driving, I'm the GPS, and that's okay.
Yes, it works.
But you're a phenomenal driver, so we're good. And I'm a great navigator.
Yes.
So we make a good team there, and we'll get there. So you were a month into your sobriety. You've been sober ever since.
Yes.
And then, the chain of events that brought you on staff, which has been dynamic, right? We've already talked about how great that was. But you too have gone through some domestic violence, right?
Yes.
In part of your story.
Yeah, that is a part of my story. I am a survivor of domestic violence. And that was a huge turning point in my life. Because, I let it get to a point where he almost killed me and my kids. And so once it got to that point is when I ended everything and I never looked back. But I try when people come in, and I know that they're in that situation, I do share that with them because I want them to get out before it gets to that point, because I was blessed that day that I didn't end up in a grave, honestly.
Wow.
So I want people to get out before it gets to that point.
Sure. And not have to deal with, you're trying to be proactive, even though the situation's there, but it can get worse is what you were saying.
Yeah.
And just a disclaimer, we are not professionals in counseling or therapy or anything like that. But what we do bring to the table is our own experiences. And so sometimes that's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Is for someone to sit down and go, not only do I see you, I hear you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I understand.
Yeah.
And I've been there, and I'm not judging you.
Right.
That's a big thing too. I tell them, there's no judgment. I've been there. I get it. Please know I'm here. If you're ready, I will do everything in my power to get you out.
So I'm listening to you, and I'm hearing what you tell your guests. We don't call them clients, we call them guests. Do you hear yourself?
Sometimes. Sometimes, I don't know.
When I say that, I mean, I don't think you realize how much you have vested in people's lives and brought so much hope and change. And not just through the basics of doing an intake and finding resources. I mean, that's what we do. That comes natural. But you're going an extra mile and pouring into these people's lives. That's bringing a lot of change. And I don't think you know your worth.
Thank you. I'm working on it. You're helping me a lot because it's hard. I've been working on it, but I think in the moment you don't really see.
Right. Right.
It just is. I just automatically go into this mode of seeing myself on the other side of the table.
I know with me, working here, my favorite part about this job is that we get to be innovative and we get to be creative.
Yes.
And, how do you feel about that?
That's my favorite part too, is that we can think outside of the box. We don't have to do things cookie cutter that you don't say to us, you have to stay inside these lines.
Right.
I absolutely love that because we've seen so much breakthrough because of that.
Mm-hmm.
We can do things a different way. It doesn't have to be the same way as people think it. You go in somewhere and you're if you've been in survival mode for a long time and you go in for help, you've been in for help before. And you're like, okay, I know how this is going to go. This is what's going to happen. This is what they're going to say. This is the amount of help I can get. This is what they're allowed to do. You have this mindset of this box, right? And when they come here, we get to be like, no, we don't have that box. We'll figure it out.
Sure.
And that has been the difference. I think that has made the whole difference in so many people's lives.
I agree. I know you have a case right now that is massive, and it's huge.
Yes.
And, we're not at liberty to go into detail about it, but I have seen the creativity, and, this woman is safe.
Yes.
She's thriving
and happy.
Whereas before, she was living scared in a public bathroom.
Yes, and she was scared to even be herself. She, honestly, I've seen such a difference in her. I mean, for the first couple of months working on this case and being in her life at all, there was this just hard armor shell around her. And I've seen it slowly just dissipate.
Wow.
And her personality come out, her being honoring. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it when I see that little bit of honoriness or just playfulness. And I'm like, okay, this is the person that we're trying to help. Now I get to know that person. And that's the most beautiful part about it, because she's really trusting us. And that, I think, before, she was living in constant fear. She had no idea who she could trust. She was being shuffled around, it's such a blessing to be able to help her.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's so cool. And I think that's what inspires all of us, right? Every day. Don't get me wrong. We've had some guests that we just could not help, or would not even allow us to help them. It's not always 100% success all the time,
right.
But I'd say 85%.
Yeah.
And
I think that is because we can be innovative, because they don't. I think we have that much success because they see we're willing to go the extra mile, that we don't have to just stick to ABC. We can go D, E, F, G, H, I, J, all the way down, if we have to. And we're willing to do that. And I think when they see that, they're willing to go the extra mile too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you again for sitting down with me. I love you so much.
I love you too.
And I'm so proud of you. And I'm looking forward to bigger things and see what happens in the future for the Joseph Center and with our whole team, actually.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's a new chapter.
We need to find you another interpreter, right?
Yeah.